Good morning. Oh, that's sweet. Good morning. Man, I tell you what, I always sit up front. I don't know why. It's not the comfy chairs. I just get distracted, right? So this morning, I was in the back just because we were trying to get, but there's been about 1,000 things that went wrong today. And so everybody's been dealing with them, and I'll stay in the back. I want to tell you how incredible it is to be here, to hear you sing louder than the band, to have a band, yes. Like, you don't understand how blessed we are for being small, right? The bills are paid, we got a band. They love God, they're doing stuff. I love being here. So, hey, if you don't know me, my name is Doug, and I get to be one of the people who teaches here. And I'm super excited because we're starting a series today called Do What's in Front of You, okay? And I don't know if you've ever been like me. Like, I don't know if you've been in the place that I've been in, but I wonder if you've ever felt any of these ways. Like, you know, you just weren't doing the amazing thing. You know what I mean? Like, you wanted to do something amazing, but basically what you did is got up, went to work, got a paycheck, paid the bills, cleaned the house, at least when people were coming over, right? And it was just like this. When I was younger, when the church was turned the other way, and many years ago, I did a message called Just Back Over Yourself with a Car. And that's how I, like, in those moments, like, right, when you're just working, and it's nothing exciting, and you're like, I don't know about you, but I think deep down inside, we all want to do something that's incredible. Like, right, something that's incredible. And we have these aspirations, and then life just sometimes pounds them out of us. Or maybe you felt this way, just a bit unnoticed. Just a bit unnoticed, like you kind of have a cool thing that you want to do, but nobody ever really notices you. Or you're plugging along doing a cool thing, and it's making a difference, but nobody really sees it. Or maybe this. This is classic for Doug. You have so many things to do that you feel absolutely overwhelmed. And if you're that person, you understand the idea of the spiral, right? You're just like, what do I do next? Okay. Or you feel like you got the answer. Boy, I've felt this way before. Have you? I actually found the answer. Like the kind of answer that's the cure for cancer kind of answer. You know, if you could get somebody to listen to you, their life would be better the next day, or you'd invent the next great widget, or the next thing. You'd come up. You'd be the Uber inventor. You know what I mean? Like, you really have the answer, but you don't have an audience. Like, you just don't have that audience. You don't have the capacity. Like, how do I do this? Or how about this? You know exactly what God told you to do. Exactly what God told you to do. The very thing. But it seems like every step forward is met with a baseball bat, knocking you back 2 steps. And there's discouragement and heartache after heartache. Anybody felt any of these ways? Yeah? Then this series is for you. All right, so I would say this, though. Even if you haven't felt that way, I bet you every single one of you has wanted to know what to do next. Like, at some point, you wanted to know, what do I do next? And I don't mean that in some kind of grand thing. I'm talking about, like, tomorrow. When I get up tomorrow and I go to work, what should I do? When I face this list of 20 things, what should I do first? How about, like, could you just tell me what I need to do in the next week? Anybody ever felt that way? Like, I just want to know what to do. Do you have a plan, God? Is there a plan? Or am I supposed to figure this out? Is it just practical? Okay. So what I want to share with you is, to all of those circumstances and situations, there is one singular answer that answers all of them. And that answer is this: just do what's in front of you. You just do what's in front of you. In every moment, you just do what's in front of you. Whether it's ordinary, whether it's obligatory, whether it's edgy or exciting or just downright boring, you always do what's right in front of you. And this is, without a doubt, one of the most, you have those moments with God where it's just like you will never forget that moment. This is one of the most powerful things that God ever shared with me. And it happened in my backyard. Some of you may have read this book called Brain Power Bible, so you already know this story, but it was 4 a.m. I knew that God over a course of like 7 years had given us an answer for how to make disciples in a way that worked. 2 big problems. Still couldn't get some people to even buy in. Like they're like, I just don't know if I want to do that, or it's different. But the worst problem was we didn't have an audience. Everywhere we went, where Christians were supposed to partner together, they were competitive. I mean, competitive. We would go to these conferences and they would be like, well, we can't let you speak. I even had one guy, right-hand guy of the whole organization, leader of one of the biggest discipleship organizations, tell me off book. He said, this is off the record. I said, all right, tell me. He said, they can't put you on the stage because you have data proving that you can get 9 out of 10 people to a place of maturity where they're thriving and make disciples. And everybody else is batting 20%. So I just want to tell you, you are never getting on the stage. I am so sorry. Yep. This is what I was facing. It was 4 a.m. It was up in Cave Spring at the big house, and I went down the big stairs into the big backyard, and I sat down. You know those chairs, those kind of metal, like a clamshell? Grandma had them, right? Rusty. Took it and sat it in the middle of the yard, and I just sat there, and I felt like I was going to vomit. You ever felt that way? I just don't even know what to do. And I was anxious, and I was praying, and God said this singular thing to me. Do what I put in front of you. Do what's in front of you. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about opposition. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about how this will grow. I didn't ask you to do any of that. I showed you this thing that works, and I told you to share it with whoever would listen. Just do what I put in front of you. And I was like, well, what'd you put in front of me? He said, go to bed, get up in the morning, help the people who are already in, write the book, move on. It was the most freeing moment ever because all of a sudden, I didn't have to worry about anybody else. I just had to do what God put in front of me. The cool thing is I found that singular answer works everywhere. It works at home. It works at play. It works at work. It works everywhere. When you get in the mindset of he's very aware of your journey, he cares about all the details, he knows what's going on, the only thing you have to do is figure out if you got something in front of you he didn't put there. But if you know, once you know he put it there, then you're good. So like, when your dreams seem derailed, like this would be, like the business isn't performing, it's not booming, right? Or that family isn't happy. That, you know, the dream family derailed, right? Or that promotion fell apart, or the relationship's a mess. Whatever it is, when the dream's derailed, this answer works. How about when it's overwhelming? When there's just not enough for you to go around? When too many people are asking, this is classic for me. Anybody got this? Everybody tells me to take a Sabbath. Everybody tells me I work too much. I get up about 4:30 in the morning and I finish about 7 at night. You work too much. But all the people that tell me I work too much keep texting. And they keep putting stuff on my plate. We have to have this, and we've got to have it now. Ah! But the answer works even when the demands are too high. How about this situation? When you're wondering, like you're just wondering, like you just have no grand vision anymore, you're just wondering. Maybe you want that. Maybe you're to change a life. Like some of you don't get that yet because you're young, but you're going to hit these points. Like you're going to hit these points. They call them midlife crisis. I get news. There's mini crisis. And you'll hit crisis of faith. You'll hit this and that. And it's like, what are you going to do? You know, son-in-law keeps saying to me, when are you going to retire? And I'm like, yeah, when are you going to get productive? So, you know, no, he's awesome. He's good. But the point is it's like this idea that like, he's like, when are you going to retire? And I'm like, dude, I just discovered the next best season of my life. I'm not stepping out of this. But some of you may not be in that season. You're at that crux. And so you're just wondering, like, what do I do? I just retired. What do I do? Don't buy an RV. That's my tip. All right, good. So, But even it's getting out of college or getting out of high school or trying to find that first job or trying to open your own business, right? No, like whatever it is, you're wondering. Guess what? The answer works there. And it even works when you have a dream. Like I would say Kinder has a dream. Sylvia has a dream. To make Academy Kids Daycare, which is a ministry that happens downstairs, incredible. But it can feel normal. And the question is, how do you get that? How do you, like, maybe there's things you don't know, like I don't know how to market, and how do I have a dream, but I can't, how do I get there? The answer works. The single answer, do what's in front of you, works in all these situations. So over the next 4 weeks, we're going to look at every one of them. We're going to look at what do you do when your dreams derail? What do you do when you have too much to do? What do you do when it just seems impossible? You want to do it. Maybe you're wondering if you can do it or even what it is, but it seems impossible. And then how about this? What do you do when the dream gets too big? Like it's just too big for you. And you don't know what to do. So over the next 4 weeks, we're going to look at every one of those situations. It's going to come out to the same answer, but it applies differently in each of them. Okay? But today, all I want to do is look at what do you do when you don't know what to do? Big picture. Because it pervades all of it. It pervades every single part of all that we're doing, okay? So, let me ask you a question. You ready? Okay, you don't sound ready. Let me ask you a question. Are you ready? Yes. My favorite kind of teaching now is workshops. I long ago ditched preaching. That's just at you. I want to be with. Let's do this together. Did you know that God promised to give you an answer to any question you asked? Oh, you do? Good. For those of you who don't, it's right there in the book. James chapter 1, verses 5 through 8. I'm just going to read it to you. Okay, we've got all kinds of technical things going on today, so I'm just going to read it to you. We just have this one static slide. Yay. Good? Ready? If you have a Bible, I gave you time to flip or scroll. If you need wisdom, in other words, if you need to know what to do, ask our generous God, and He will give you an answer. He will not rebuke you for asking. In other words, He's not going to be like, again, like we do to 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds and 13-year-olds, okay? But when you ask Him, be sure that your faith is in God alone and you do not doubt. Don't waver, for a person with divided loyalty is like an unsettled wave of the seas tossed about by the wind. Such people should not expect to receive any answer from the Lord. Did you hear the condition to the promise? So the condition of the promise is this. If you ask Him, you need to be ready to do whatever He says in that moment. You're like, no, it says doubt. Well, isn't that the same? If I ask Him and He's like, Doug, move back to Cave Spring. And I'm like, really, I don't, what? That's doubt. True, absolute faith, this total in moment, is all about I'm going to ask and I'm going to apply. I'm going to ask and I'm going to apply. It's the single greatest challenge of Christianity, surrender. Because we get our plans, even when you get a dream, right? Anybody done this? He gives you the dream and you run off to do it. You never ask when, how, until you hit a problem and you go, how do I get over this hurdle? And He's like, you shouldn't be at that hurdle. Right? Oh no, Doug. Yes, Moses, great example. Told that He would, prophesied over him that He would deliver Israel. And for 40 years he was a shepherd. He didn't have the capacity. We just don't want to wait sometimes. Surrender. So the condition is I ask Him, and it's really not that unreasonable, but I ask Him, then I'm going to act. I'm not going to question. And that's huge. I know that's tough because people have eroded our trust. But God, He's been really consistent. You can read like 7,000 years of history in the Bible. He's pretty consistent. He always finishes what He starts. If you join him in his work, he always has your back, and he's pretty darn faithful. If you don't really get this idea of you can't doubt, think of it this way. You have a friend. Anybody have this friend? I have this friend. I have two of these friends, and I love them. But when my phone rings, I look at Amber and I go, ah. Anybody do that when the phone rings, or is it just me? Okay. They're wonderful friends. But here's what happens. They call to ask for advice. And if you know anything about me, I learned this from Doc. As I grew up in the Lord, I don't give you advice. I'll give you a biblical answer. I'm not giving you advice, number one. Number two, every time I give them a biblical answer, they follow the very next word with, but, and then some modifier. You don't understand. Your situation's not the same. I'm not an Israelite. Whatever it is. But, so guess what? I just don't answer the phone sometimes because I'm a jerk. No, I am not going to keep, it's a scripture. Don't cast your pearls before swine. They're wonderful. But it's the idea of that the pearls should be worn and traded and sold. They shouldn't be consumed along with whatever else pigs eat. And they're not my pearls of wisdom. It's a good thing I'm not God, because I'd be like, I'm going to make this easy for you. You're coming home because you won't listen. Boop, boop. Like, let's just solve this for you and Doug and everybody else. Boop, you're gone. He's way more patient than I am. All right. The key point is, as I point one finger at them, I'm pointing 5 fingers, 3, I don't know how that works, back at me. Because this is where Christians always get derailed. God, tell me what to do. And he's like, don't murder. And you're like, but I like murdering. But, God, tell me what to do. Tithe. But, God, tell me what to do. Stop having sex with your girlfriend. But, God, tell me what to do. But, God, tell me what to do. But, and don't feel bad if you're a big butt. Because we've all been there. And it takes a lot of years of growing up before you get your big butt out of the way. Because you've got to learn to trust him. So just breathe for a minute. It's okay if you are a big butt. Eventually you can get that out of the way. But you need to understand this. When it comes to spiritual growth, the first 2 steps are hearing from God. He convinces you you need to do something. The second step is you act on it. Listen to me if you hear nothing else in this message. If you ask him to talk to you, and he does, and you don't do something with it, your spiritual growth just stopped. Because he said, if you're not going to do it, I'm not going to give it. That's a heavy point. All right, but I have some steps for you. 4 steps you can do. When you don't know what to do, when you do not know what to do, maybe the biggest thing is just to slow down and do 1 of 2 things. Slow down. Do 1 of 2 things. Either try to figure out what you haven't done that he's already told you to do, because that's a big blocker. Or maybe accept the fact that you don't know everything, and maybe he wants you to wander around being a shepherd for a while to get you ready to succeed. So that would be the first step. Slow down. And I want to say this to you. Slowing down is okay. I know in this world it's so fast, 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 fast. No. No, 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 no. Love the Navy SEALs. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Before they go in on a mission, they practice 40, 50 times in a total mock-up setup. They know exactly what they're going to do. They know exactly what every consequence they foresee they have faced. Slow prep. Because it's smooth then when you execute. And guess what? Smooth is fast. Your best approach when you don't know what to do is to slow down and figure out maybe what you're not doing or what you need to learn and be okay with that. Got it? 2, be where you are. Here's the scripture. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has enough worries of its own. If you take a note, that's Matthew 6:34. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has enough worries of its own. Like, just be present in the moment. Stop thinking about what's going to happen next week and next month and next year, and really try to execute this moment well. Does that make sense? The Ecclesiastes puts it another way. I love this. I wish every guy who ever did preach would read this and apply it. Don't long for the good old days. This is not wise. And you know the messages I'm talking about, right? The guy's now 45 years old. He's still wearing tight jeans, which is just not attractive. And he's talking about how he played baseball in college. Like, what have you done lately? In this moment, should we live so often in the past, good or bad, or we long for the future and we miss the moment? The moments where you grow. Do you get it? The moments where you grow. This is where you hear God and you act, or you don't really move forward. The days will move forward, time will move forward, and you'll be saying, I still don't know what to do. So be present in the moment. Slow down. Think about it. Get out your journal. Figure out if there's stuff he's told you to do. And by the way, I'm not talking big stuff. I'm talking if you're a murderer, stop murdering. If you're an adulterer, stop adultering. I'm going to pick all the big ones. How about this? If you eat too much cheesecake, stop eating too much cheesecake. If he said love your neighbor and you hate your neighbor, figure it out. Because all those are blockers to your spiritual growth, and they're blockers to you getting the answer to what to do next. Because he's up there, probably not like me at all, but if we're I already told you what to do. You were going to, that scripture, Will's going to be teaching on it in a couple weeks. I won't steal it all, but it's like, I've already told you what is good. There's 1,800 pages of what is good right there. What aren't we doing? People are filled with anxiety. Oh, there's so much. I want to tell you something. Anxiety is not new since COVID or before it. It's not a Gen X, a Gen Z, or whatever the latest one is. We've been anxious forever. My dad was anxious. He just had cocktails when he came home. We've been dealing with anxiety forever. People wake up in the middle of the night, go to their backyard at 4 a.m. We've been doing this forever. We just had less pills, and we got up and went to work and got over ourselves because our dad said things to us like, pull your head out of your butt. Go to work. Okay? But it's all those little basic things. Love your wife. What does that mean? I think I'm getting closer to figuring it out. Amber's real sick. She's home in bed, been on bed 2 days. It was the ladies' event, threw her over the edge. I told her you shouldn't go, you're already sick. But she's in bed all day yesterday. Number one thing you should do as a husband when your wife is sick is leave her alone. Peek in the door every now and then. If she's awake, say, can I get you something? She said, I don't need anything, but maybe a popsicle would be great. I was like, I will go get you popsicles. What kind of popsicles you want? Rectangle? Square? She was like, just get me something cold. And if there's a slushy machine nearby, will you do that? And I looked at her, and in my brain, I was like, I'm trying to fix the whole house. I don't want to drive to Racetrack, my only known destination for slushy. But I didn't say that. I just got in the car and I drove. And some of you would say, yes, you chose to love. It was an act of love. No, I did it because I love her. She can't hardly talk. What does it mean to raise your children in fear of the Lord when you're all they fear? What does it mean to not spare the rod and spoil the child? What does it mean when it says, give your first gift to God without question? What does it mean? You just go on and on and on. It's all those little things. Does that make sense? Okay. So slow down. Be where you are. And while you wait, do what's in front of you. And when I say that, it's all those things we just talked about. It's do what needs to be done. Oh my gosh. I hear people talking about, well, I don't know. I just wish I had more friends. And then I go in their house, and it's like, no one's coming in here because it reminds them of their house. And they don't even want to eat out their dishes. I wish I had the tools you had, Doug. Good. Go on 100 mission trips. Save your money. Somebody said to me, you get really cranky when people don't take care of your tools. I said, they're not my tools, they're God's tools. I worked hard and invested in these tools. And I know I sound like my dad at this point, but I'm not going to be a jerk. I'm just telling you, don't give me a hard time because I want you to take care of the tool. The tool was hard to buy. Maybe the reason you don't have tools is because God knows you're just going to leave them in the rain. I wish I had more money. Great. Are you tithing? Are you investing? Are you living wisely? Are you eating out constantly? Is Uber Eats your best friend? Oh, but I can't afford to invest in a discipleship movement. Really? You don't have $60 a month? Like if you just have Starbucks every day, you got 90 or 150. Right? I mean, really, people, maybe the reason we don't have is he's looking at us. So go to work, shop, clean, do what's in front of you. Just do that stuff and do it well. I like this. 1 Timothy 5:8. But those who don't care for their relatives, especially their own household, have denied the true faith. Such people are worse than unbelievers. What? Me just taking care of my house is me doing what is in front of me that's from God. How about this one? If you're faithful in little things, you'll be faithful in large things. Yeah, but I want more. Good. Take care of what you do well with what you have. So it's not just do what needs to be done. The second little subpoint there would be do it well. Ecclesiastes 9:10. Love this. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it well. I just wish I had that promotion. I don't know what to do. Should I change jobs? Pause, stop. Are you doing it well? Because I'll tell you something. If you want your boss's job, outperform your boss. Make him look so good he gets promoted. Be at the top of the pile. You'll get the promotion. You won't get it by whining and complaining that it's not fair. Even if it's not fair, it's just. How about this one? Well done, my good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Oh, that one. Jesse's nodding with me. That one will kill you straight down. You want more? You want to know what to do? Be faithful with what he's told you to do. Don't just think money here. You want to know what to do next? Be faithful with what he's already told you to do. The little stuff, the big stuff, the job, he gave it to you. Stop whining. Grow up. You got insurance. Even if it stinks, I can introduce you to about 1 billion people who've never even heard the word insurance. We got paychecks, we got roofs. Be faithful with what he's given us, but even more so, just the answers he's given us. If he told you to love, love. If he told you not to murder, don't murder. Which kind of gets us down to the next point. Prepare yourself. This is the fourth one, the fourth step, to just doing what's in front of you. Well, because you don't know what to do next. Prepare yourself. Proverbs 21:15 says this, good planning and hard work lead to prosperity, but hasty shortcuts lead to poverty. I wish, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about getting a tattoo. But if I was going to get a tattoo and put it across my chest and then build up like Will and then wear like, Muscleman shirt so everybody could read it, it would say, no, he's so bigger than me, but he's not just taller, he's just bigger. All right, so, but it would just say like this. It would just say like this. Hard work gets the job done. Stop trying to shortcuts never work. Discipleship, this drives me nuts. I'm telling you, give any discipleship leader in this SC thing 42 to 48 weeks of your life, and you at the end will be like, wah! Better than you were. But again and again and again and again and again and again, people tell me, I don't have time. You see, it's a hasty answer. No, I got to do this. Really? You're going to forsake your soul? I don't like that book. I don't care. Reading the Bible's too hard. Really? Yeah, it's hard work like everything else. You can work hard and go nowhere, or you can work hard and go somewhere. I'll put that. Yeah, Paul did it. But I'm going to put that axe down for a minute and stop grinding it. By the way, discipleship starts in 2 weeks. You can get in. All right. Here you go. Prepare yourself. Good planning and hard work lead to prosperity. Okay, you want the next best answer? You want to be ready for it? Preparation always precedes provision. Ask anybody who's been a boss. Preparation always precedes provision. So get yourself ready for the adventure. You want to go on the adventure? You want to know what to do? Get yourself ready. Like we said, sometimes you have no idea what the long-term plan is. Could you just follow one step at a time? Could you be so surrendered that you said, what do I do next? And he's like, pay the mortgage. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm done. What do I do next? Could you have a real-time relationship with God instead of, whoa? Could you just, like, what do you do next? What do you do next? Call your mom. All right, call your mom. Hang up the phone. What do I do next? How bad do you want to know what to do next? Sometimes we have no idea what his plan is. What we need to do is just execute exactly what's in front of us. And that's the truth. We can do what we can do. When it comes to doing what's in front of you, you can do what you can do. So if you want to do something with our faith, okay, Christianity is the base here. These truths would probably work for everybody. We have an accelerator. It's called our faith, the Lord Jesus Christ. Holy Spirit. Here's what you can do so you can find the answer to what should I do next. Know his truths. Like really mine the Bible for his truths, not for boring stuff. I'm just like, mine the Bible for his truths. Know his way. But what is his way? His way always leads to life. So get to know that. And anything in you that's leading to death, get rid of it. If you're a dude, this can be tough for you. If you're a lady, go read The Best Yes by Lisa TerKeurst. Just figure out what's going to add to and lead you to life and not take away. Know his heart. What is his heart? His heart is all about what? Purity and grace and everybody else. So much everybody else that he gave his life, right? He gave his life so that you and I could sit here today and have faith and have hope and have eternal life. In what I think is my favorite way to put it, we were standing on the side of the road and we weren't paying attention and we stepped off the curb and there was a big green bus coming and Jesus picked us all up, threw us to the side of the road and got hit. And then they took him to the mortuary and they got him all ready, right? Wrapped him up, put him in the coffin. But little did they know, when they put him in the ground, that the next day or 3 days later, that there'd be a big pile of dirt again. And the funeral home director's like, I told you to bury him. And they're like, we did bury him. We didn't dig it up. There's no backhoe even around. Coffin's open. It's empty. And then you see him in downtown Ackworth, Jesus walking around, 40 days walking around. Everybody saw him. And then in one incredible moment, before 120 believers, he ascends. Like, what's his heart? His heart is for others. He said he wanted to only do what his Father did. Did you get that? He wanted to hear the answer and execute it. And there was no doubt in his mind. Every time he heard, he executed. So don't just know his truths, know his ways, and know his heart, but do this. Ready? Live his truths, live his way, and live his heart. And here's why. Because when you want to know what to do next, we're looking for this grand thing or the solution to the relationship, whatever. There might be, listen to me, 150 steps before you get to that conclusion. And he may know that you can't handle but 2. Stop looking to the end conclusion and do exactly what's next. The things he's told us in his word, the things that align with his heart. Slow down. Slow down. Take a breath. Be present in the moment. Check yourself. Ask him what you need to know. Do the stuff that's in front of you. Got it? And then prepare yourself, because he's not going to give you some fantastic thing to do if you aren't doing the little things. 2 Chronicles 16:9. I know everybody thinks the Old Testament is dead. Let me prove that wrong. 2 Chronicles 16:9. Packed amongst all these lineages of junk. it says this: the eyes of the Lord search the whole earth in order to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to him. What? They don't doubt, they get an answer, they act. That's all he's looking for. Want to know what to do next? Turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in his wonderful face. Got it? That's it. Seek ye first the kingdom above all else, Matthew 6:33 says, and live righteously, and he will give you everything you need, including the answer and every single thing to carry it out, because he is God, and he is alive, and he promised to give us answers. The blocker is usually us. So step one, when you face, like, what do I need to do? Step one is always look in the mirror. Do what's in front of you. Slow down. Get back to the basics. And don't be flipping out. If you hate your job, just keep going and hating your job. Wait for the answer. Do what he gave you, because you may not know it, but my worst jobs prepared me to be a decent boss. Somebody actually told me, you're the best boss I ever had. I was like, have had some horrible bosses. But if there's any merit to me as a leader, it is by all of the crappy leaders that I had to serve under. You never know what he's doing. So, slow down. Be where you are. Do what must be done and prepare yourself. And then I would say this: make one critical decision when you want to know what to do next. Decide that you will act on whatever he tells you. Whether you read it in the Word or he tells you it in your heart, if you're going to ask him a question, be prepared to act on it. Because if you aren't, the Word of God says he will not give you an answer. I know that seems like a hard call, so let me give you a tip. Just ask for something little. Something you know you can follow. And then learn to trust him. No, I'm serious. Like, I'm a very practical follower. Like, if you're like, don't ask him if you should move to Africa. Maybe, what if the answer is yes? Ah! Okay, so just ask him something little. Like, who could I bless today? This morning I was sitting on my porch, desperately trying to recover a computer with a sick wife and dogs and a household to run. And God said, call Greg. And so I called Greg, and we had this really great conversation. He's facing a challenge. Call Greg. Made me walk in here at 11 or 10:59. Team covered. World didn't end. Listen. Just ask for little things then. Start with the little and work your way up, because I promise you, if you act on whatever he tells you, do. And by the way, if you are a murderer, please immediately stop, because it's going to really halt your spiritual growth, and it's going to expedite people either to heaven or hell, and that is not. By the way, if you got murdered today and you would go to hell, please see me or see Will, and we will tell you how to get a free pass to heaven. Good? Next week, we're going to dive into just what do you do when your dreams derail. And you know the answer. I do. It's in front of you, but how it applies is different. I urge you to be here, because every one of these situations applies at work and home and play. God bless you.